Hello, this is Brenda, Bella's Artisanal Apothecary. I am here to make another soap. I haven't posted anything in a while. A lot of things going on, but anyway, I am going to check the temperature of my Lye Solution. This is Tussa Silk lye and water with a little bit of sugar, organic cane sugar. It's at 87 degrees. All right, so let me see where I stand with my oils. $97. Okay, I had these sitting in a little bit of warm water. So they're both warm, but they're within 10 degrees of each other. So, and I'm pretty sure that'll change within a few seconds now that I've taken this and put it on a cold surface. So for today's soap, this is palm free. This is avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, castor, and sweet almond oil. Those are the only oils in there. No hard butters, but this will make for a very smooth and creamy bar. Here I have my, you can see it right there. This is my fragrance oil. I do have it mixed in with some Kaolin Clay, some buttermilk, and some ground up apricot seeds. This soap is going to be a mechanic soap. Doesn't necessarily have to be a mechanic that uses it, no. But anybody can use it. If you want some extra exfoliating, then this will be the soap for you. I tried to get a lot of things done before I started making the soap. So fragrance, oils, fragrance, and the Lye Solution. Here I have my alcohol. I keep on making a mess. This is just water. So, put this to the side over here. A little stick blender. So the colors that I'm going to use are, I'm actually going to use some activated charcoal that I have in here. Let me open this up. Let me be gentle because this stuff flies. You can see it right there. And actually, I just realized I haven't turned on my light. So let me do that. There we go. That should be better. That should be better. Let's see. Let's just use that light for now. Okay. So the colors again, I'm going to have charcoal, activated charcoal in the base of the soap. And then I'm going to use this matte brown oxide. And I'm pretty sure you can see it there. With some batter that is going to be colored with some titanium dioxide. And I have it right here, already prepared. On the top, I may sprinkle some extra ground up apricot seeds, or I may use some of these organic poppy seeds that I have in this little container. So we shall see. But anyway, I'm going to start getting everything mixed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my oils with my Lye Solution. I'm not going to bring it to trace. I'm just going to get a good mix. And then I'm going to separate some in this container. All have been sanitized because I need some mix for some embeds. So I need to make sure that I do have some separated. So let's get started. I have my stick blender here ready to go. Let's get those air bubbles out. Let me come over here so you can see better. There we go. I'm just going to pour it down the shaft. I have 5 pounds of oils and probably 2 pounds of liquids. All right, so here we go. It's very fluid right now, and I want to keep it that way because I do have to separate. Sorry, I'm rinsing my stick blender, that way it won't get yucky. All right, so I'm going to pour some into this container. And I probably poured a little bit more than what I need, but you never know. You never know. Alrighty. So, I think that's going to be enough for my embeds. We shall see. Alright, so I do have to separate this into several containers. I think I'm going to start with, what do I want to do? Alright, so you know what? I'm going to put some in here. This is going to be for the brown portion. And a little bit more. I am using a 5-pound mold. Okay, so I have that one. Let me set this one aside. And then I want to set aside some for my white portion. Should be good enough. All right, so now that I have my containers for my colors all separated, I'm gonna go ahead and add the fragrance, but before I do so, I'm gonna give it another little whisk with my little hand stick blender. There we go. Get rid of the bubbles. And let me add the rest right here. All right, so this is a mechanic soap like I stated earlier. This will be ready in about 3-4 weeks. I did do a water discount here. But I'll probably give it 4 weeks. And I think, just by eyeballing this, I think I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna wanna add a little bit more of the apricot, ground up apricot seeds, just because this is an exfoliating soap, especially if you're gardening or you're working on a car. So, I only added about a teaspoon. So let me go ahead and add. I do very small amounts, that way going forward, if it's a soap that I want to repeat and it did well, then I kind of know, where I stand with the exfoliating bits. I'm not going to stick blend it just yet. I'm gonna add my charcoal. So I posted on the Facebook page for Bella's Artisanal Apothecary on Facebook, which I do have that page, that I wanted to talk about a documentary on a case that I believe was a murder case regarding Mrs. Joanne Romaine Matuk, or Matuk Romaine. Very sad case. So this is Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. It aired last year. There's 2 volumes right now. And if you go, it is called Lady in the Lake. And so that's one case. The other case that is on Netflix that I wanted to talk about is the Ray Rivera case. I believe they are Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican myself. Doesn't matter the nationality though, but because it breaks my heart regardless of, you know, where they're from. So that will be in another video. There are 2 Facebook pages. One is Unsolved, I think. Unsolved Ray Rivera. So if you're interested and you like watching shows like this, by all means, find the pages on Facebook. The other one is Justice for Joanne Romaine. I think Joanne Romaine or Joanne Matuk Romaine. You can't miss it, but okay, so this is looking a little grayish. Should I put some more charcoal? Those were half teaspoons. Let me add the stick blender to it and see what color I get. But anyway, I want to talk about the Ray Rivera case, okay? So that case, basically, young guy, handsome. The epitome of tall, dark, and handsome, okay? Anyway, married, recently married to the love of his life. And her name is Allison Rivera. They got married in Puerto Rico. They went to live in California. His goal was to be a screenplay writer, I think. Something to that effect. But it wasn't going so well for him, so they moved to Baltimore so that he could work with his friend, Porter Stansfield. This guy, Porter Stansfield, I cannot stand him, to be honest with you. I cannot stand the man because he failed his friend. And I'll get to that in a little bit. Anyways, let me get my mold. I sanitized this. I had it sitting. Okay, so this fragrance actually is working really good for me. I'll be able to get a nice little drop swirl in here, but I'm sorry for all the noises. There we go. Actually, there we go. I got a nice trace right now. So they moved to Baltimore, and he starts working with his friend, who I have dubbed the douche. And basically, Ray is writing reports, financial reports. You know, the guy, if his friend wanted him to write financial reports, it is because apparently, you know, he was a good writer. But, you know, based on everything seen on the documentary, this guy, Porter, was best friends with Ray, and he was kind of like begging him or, you know, just requesting him constantly to move to Baltimore to go work with him. And they had been friends for quite a few years. But anyway, I smell a rat in all of this, and he's the rat. And by he, I mean Porter. That man, and you'll see why I have such disdain for him. That man, supposedly, you know, his best friend, yada yada, goes missing, and all he offers is $1,000 for the whereabouts or any information regarding Ray when Ray disappeared. This happened in May of 2006, I believe. I'm making soap, so I don't have any notes with me right here, but I think that's when it happened, 2006. So he goes missing. His wife is out of town, and he goes missing at around 6:30 on the 16th of May. And I remember the day exactly for personal reasons, but just gonna do this to get some of the little air bubbles out. That'll work. Can you see that? Yep. So anyway, he goes missing. His wife's calling him. She's 3 hours away, and she can't find him. And, you know, she's going nuts trying to figure out what's going on. And so she drives back into town, gets home that next morning that he went missing, and that's when the whole mess starts. Let's just call it that. And his mother comes in from Puerto Rico. Her parents come in. I'm not sure where they were living, but her parents come into town. They fly in. His brother, Angel Rivera, he flies in from Florida to Baltimore, and everybody starts searching. The friend offers a $1,000 reward. Mind you, this guy's a multimillionaire, and this is his best friend, and all he offers is $1K. I smell bullshit. But anyway, you be the judge. If you like this kind of stuff, watch Netflix, watch the show, Unsolved Mysteries, the new one. It's 2 volumes. This one is, it's called Off the Rooftop, I think, or The Rooftop. It's the very first episode in volume. It's either 1 or 2, but you'll see it. So yeah, I don't know what to think other than the fact that I firmly believe that this guy was killed. So anyway, so a little bit more about the story. I don't know if you can see, yeah. So I'm adding some of this brown oxide. And I'm very passionate about this particular case because everything screams that he was murdered, but yet the police in Baltimore deemed it as a suicide. Yet it's undetermined, which means that the case technically is still open. So, with that being said, he goes missing. Oh, look at that beautiful color. Okay, I'm not gonna mix it too much. It's already got emulsion. So he goes missing, and I know I keep on repeating myself. He goes missing, everybody's looking for it. The news gets involved. You know, the media gets involved and whatnot. But eventually, the people that are searching for him, they find this hole in a rooftop, and they see slippers, they see cell phone, I think they see his glasses. The police gets called, lo and behold, who's in the hole in the building? Ray Rivera. So, supposedly he jumped off of the Belvedere building. Now, I'm going to call bullshit on that one because of the way that he went through a rooftop, a lower rooftop. It's about, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 stories down. Metal, wood, sheetrock, paint. He went through all of it. The hole itself is just enough for his body to go through at a vertical angle. Not horizontal, but vertical. So, what does that tell you? Now, I have personal experience in falling and jumping from buildings. I'm not going to elaborate too much on it because that's my personal business, but I do come with a little bit of expertise when it comes to things like this. And to be quite honest with you, homeboy did not jump. They said he jumped. If you Google the Belvedere Hotel, which is now condos, on Google Earth or wherever, you'll see that the rooftop has so many things on it, on the top, that there's no way you can jump. And it's already been documented. The only speed that you can gain by running is maybe a maximum of 4 miles per hour. This guy was in flip-flops. He was in athletic clothing. And again, flip-flops. So supposedly, when you look at the documentary, you know, Oh, what's I gonna say? Everything was on the lower rooftop. So you see the hole, and then, you know, he went through the hole, but his stuff is outside on the rooftop, on the lower rooftop. So either he fell and the stuff flew off of him, which I don't think that's what happened, or it was planted. I personally think it was planted. I also personally believe that he was thrown from some kind of aircraft. That's my opinion. Don't ding me for it. Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna do that light color, but I have to stick blend this because this is gonna be sorry, sounds. So there we go. This is whiter now. I'm still thinking about the design that I want on the top, so we'll see. But for right now, I am going to do a little swirly whirly. So going back to this case, you know, he supposedly jumped, and I don't believe it. So when you go watch the show, you'll see they give all the angles and whatnot, all of their opinions. And again, I don't think that he jumped. I've got music in the background. Don't know if you can hear it. You probably can. All right, so I'm going to do one deeper swirl. All right. So my personal opinion is that he supposedly left at around 6:30. I don't think that he fell through that hole at that time of the day, because definitely people would have seen it. I think that he was lured to a certain spot, which was like about a 10-15 minute drive from where he lived at with his wife. Parked in a parking spot. It's a private parking spot where you have to pay to park. He parked his car. Overnight parking is allowed, but the next day you get ticketed if you don't move your car, from what I'm gathering. But anyway, how can I put this? I think that he was lured maybe into like some kind of fake meeting. I think that wherever they went to, which was not the Belvedere, I don't believe that, that he was beat up, knocked out maybe, and then eventually put into some kind of aircraft, and then from there dropped. If it's a helicopter, you have a better chance of, you know, you've got the chance to like stop and drift in the air and watch where he's gonna fall, as to where with a plane it's different. You can still tell where he fell if you circle enough, but I think that this had to have happened between the hours of around 9:30 to maybe 11, where a lot of people are out and about, you know, having normal lives, socializing and whatnot. So to me, I think that's what happened. And you know, they say, well, how come nobody saw anything? Nobody said anything? It's very easy to be watching TV and out of the corner of your eye, you can see something come out the window, or, you know, fly past the window. You're going to say, oh, that was probably a bird. Especially if you're coming out of an aircraft, you're coming down at a quite rapid speed. And yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So when you watch the show, they'll say nobody said that they saw, they heard nothing. Of course not. Everybody was too busy. So yeah, that's my thought. But I want justice for this family so badly. I want to know who did this to this poor guy. This is a couple that apparently were madly in love with each other. And I don't think that she's been able to move on with her life. So yeah, so I just wanted to discuss that briefly, just because it's been bothering me. I need a spoon. I'll be right back. Let's see, do I have one here? Actually, I will use my teaspoon. So let's see if this will work. Yeah, that'll work. So anyway, I just want justice for this family. They deserve it, and the way that he died was brutal. His autopsy report just is horrible. Even the detective, the one and only detective that didn't buy that this was a suicide, and he even says it. He was, oddly enough, removed from the case and put into some program called the Safe Streets. I've seen some reports saying that he had requested that duty, that detail, prior to this case happening. So I don't know if it was just coincidence or his time came up to be moved up, or, you know. But yeah. So, and still to this day, he doesn't believe that this was a suicide. And I agree with him. The reporters that handled this case also, the ones that are being, that are talking on the documentary, they all feel that it's not a suicide. So there you have that. It's just a very sad case. And then his friend homeboy never chose to talk. Once Ray's body was found, he basically shut down, and he shut down everybody in the company too. Nobody was allowed to talk to the media. So what does that tell you there? That's, you know, and the guys never talked. The so-called best friend has never given access or nothing. Now, if you go to the Facebook pages, you'll see the, there's some pictures that show his injuries, and they're just horrible. And even the detective describes them as being brutal. I'm gonna stick blend this a little bit more just because I want this to be a little thicker for the top, and you'll see why. Let's do this. This fragrance that I use is a piped cashmere tobacco, and I added some cherry to it as well, just to soften the fragrance. That'll work. Let's see. Well, it's still a little bit runny, but let's give it a few seconds here. Going back to the case. Yeah. So, the police in Baltimore dubbed it a suicide, that he jumped off the building, which is horse shit. And I'm sorry for the foul language, but this is just, it just breaks my heart. And I keep on saying it over and over again. I decided to discuss this while soaping because it helps me to move a little bit faster with my soaping, which it has. I'm almost done. I just need this to be a little bit thicker because right now, I mean, I could still put it on there. Let me try. Let me use the little scoop. There's another case actually that is called No Ride Home, and that case was closed by the KBI, the Kansas Bureau of Investigations. They closed it. This case happened years ago also. And in 2019, they sent a letter to the family saying, we have closed this case. And I mean, clearly, to me, this is a hate crime. I won't, go too much into that case because you have to watch it for yourself. Be the detective yourself and try to figure out or give your ideas to what you think happened here. But the poor kid didn't deserve what happened to him. FBI, GBI, local police, sheriff's department, even AquaSearch got involved. They searched a small creek area, okay? Small creek area that it couldn't have been more than 2 miles. Yet, no one could find him. No one could find this poor guy. And then almost 30 days later, they let the family go out there and search. And guess what? Lo and behold, they find his body. So basically somebody, after the search was over, even the brother says that, somebody said something and that the family was going to go search. And all of a sudden they find his body. I mean, just craziness. But anyway, as of last month, the FBI reopened this case. They exhumed his body and they have deemed it as a homicide. So kudos to them. The family deserves justice in that case as well. Because this was a young guy, 23 years old. All he did was go to a party with some friends. He was left by mistake by his friends because there was a miscommunication. I believe he got jumped. And yeah. Next thing you know, he's dead. But let's go back to Ray Rivera. His wife, Allison, she's living in California now. And she really never moved on, like I said. She's, if I'm not mistaken, she is single. Has remained single. And in the show, she struggles to just, keep talking to the people interviewing her. And it's so sad because this woman truly loved her man and his family. The brother says that, they don't have that family unity that they used to have because of the brother being dead. And somebody needs to spill the beans. Somebody needs to tell this family. Somebody needs to call the cops, something. I mean, send a smoke signal, do something. But give these people justice. I don't want to lay too many details. If you want to watch the show, watch the documentary. I've always loved Netflix. And I definitely have always loved Unsolved Mysteries. And some of these cases just, really pull at my heartstrings. And justice needs to be given. Some kind of closure to these families. They deserve it. They've waited for so many years. So that's all I want to say about that. Watch the show if if you're interested in stuff like that. Anyway, this soap has got a little bit more to go. All right, so let's go back over here. Isn't that pretty? It almost looks like a coffee soap, but it's not. It's not. And let's see if I can lay a little bit more of the white. It's just still so runny. The fragrance is actually pretty good. Considering that I put cherry, usually fruity fragrances will provoke the batter to move fast, but I only put a small amount of cherry, not too much. just to lighten up the tobacco aroma. All right, so now I'm going to come back with the spoon. Because I do want this to have a mounded look in the middle. I just hope it comes out nice in the middle. And I'm going to put some more in the middle. More of the white. And you can see the apricot seeds in there. And they're ground up apricot seeds, obviously. Doesn't matter if I do this here because I'm going to pile it up again. I'm actually making this soap for a friend of mine. It doesn't matter if it's gloopy. I do want it to have that texture. And as you can see, it's already got a nice little mound in the middle going. There we go. I try not to make too many messes when soaping. Give it a few seconds so I could add some more. So yeah, I hope that this turns out beautiful on the inside. I'm gonna cut it up and I'm gonna bundle it up real nice for him so that he could give it to his mechanics. They actually work on skid steers, graters, and I can't remember the names of the other ones, to be honest with you. But it almost looks like chocolate and caramel melted with vanilla ice cream right now. And I think I'm gonna put a little sprinkle of poppy seeds on top. Me sinks. I think so. We'll give it a little character. All right. A little bit more. Go. Sometimes we tend to lean more to one side rather than to the other, so I try to keep that in consideration. And beautiful. All right, so I think I'm just gonna go like this, very minute. Try to go as gentle as possible. It almost looks like cinnamon. And I'm going to get one more little mound on there. There we go. Just a smidge more. So one more and then I could do the sprinkle on top. So yeah, put your thoughts, your comments below. I'll put a link actually to the video if I can. I think I can. Just come up with your own thoughts, unless you've already seen it. I'd like to hear your opinion on this poor guy's death. He seemed to be a very, very kind-hearted person, so it just really hurts me to know that somebody did this to this poor guy. Again, I don't think it was suicide. It's just something in my gut is telling me that it was not suicide. But let me move this out of the way. There we go. I'll leave that there for now, just in case. Let's see how this is. Boy, I tell you what, this fragrance, usually when you add titanium dioxide to your soap batter, it makes it thick, but not today. So I don't want to add any more just yet because it's just going to plop. And I want it to have a little bit extra thickness to it. So let me wait a few more seconds here. And I'll go ahead and sprinkle my hands with some rubbing alcohol on my gloves just to get the remnants of the batter off as much as I can. There we go. My poppy seeds right here. Let me do just a little sprinkle so you can see how it looks. Okay, here we are about to cut the soap that I made. That's the mechanic soap. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I do always try to wear gloves when cutting my soaps, especially when my hands look like doo-doo. Need a manicure. Okay. So the soap, I made it about 3 days ago. It is very, very soft. I'm going to put it on its side. Very, very soft. Let's see. Absolutely gorgeous. I do not want any drag marks, so let's see. I already tuned my my bar cutter, my multi-bar cutter, so fingers crossed. You know what? Let me do this. Oh, it's so soft. There's the inside. Let me turn it. All right. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. It's still very, very soft. So this is the mechanic. Wash your crack and your body soap. Oh, I love it. Came out gorgeous. So here you can see the poppy seeds. I'm sorry, not poppy seeds. This has got finely ground up apricot seeds. The top does have poppy seeds. So this is made with activated charcoal, and then this layers, well, the whole soap has buttermilk, kaolin clay, and then the dark layer has the activated charcoal. So I'll just show you a few bars and then leave it at that. So I do have a medley of colors here. I do have a slight drag mark. I think that was a poppy seed, and I do see it there. I tried to avoid that. And I did clean the multi-bar. I cleaned all the lines. But yeah, sometimes it just happens. But yep, there you have it. Let me turn it around. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? So this is my Mechanics soap. Again, no drag marks on that one. That one has one right there. Right there. Nothing major though. It smells wonderful. It does have a little bit, it's very soft. So I will say this, the fragrance that I used to make this soap, I guess in combination with the additives, the fragrance, the additives, and I believe possibly the use of the avocado oil made it extra soft. And I did make a blend for the fragrance, so I'm thinking that has to do with it being so soft as well. So yeah, so maybe next time if I make this soap again, which I probably will, I'm going to tweak the recipe a little bit. I could go the other way, but... And I did add a little bit of titanium, well, I added some titanium dioxide to this top layer, but you can see here there's more white. But it's a very, I like the smell. I think definitely to have this kind of soap, like for example, like in a mechanics shop, I think the guys and girls would like this. So there you have it. My mechanics soap. Wash your cracking hands or wash your cracking body. I'm not sure yet. But kind of like the plumbers, the mechanics, they walk around with their pants hanging. So that's where I'm kind of going with the title. Plus, I've seen my fair share of mechanics that are just covered from head to toe in grease. I used to work at an auto parts store for many years, so yeah. I've seen it all. But anyway, this is Brenda from Bella's. Thank you for watching. You can find this soap on our website. Within the next 3 weeks, I'll have it uploaded and you'll be able to get a bar. Now, this is a super limited edition on these, so I may have a dozen or less only available on the website. So hopefully, if you're interested, you'll be one of the lucky ones to get one of these. Again, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.